Welcome to The American Story. Stories about all the things that make America the country we know and love. The American Story podcast is made possible through listener donations. You can simply visit our website at theamericanstorypodcast.org and click Donate. That's theamericanstorypodcast.org. Thanks to all of you in the land of the free who have given generously so that we can produce more stories and reach more listeners. This is Chris Flannery with the Claremont Institute. I call this one, God Bless America. Leah Beilin, her husband Moses, and their 8 children left western Siberia for Belorussia in the late 1880s or early 1890s, and from there made their way by foot, rail, and steerage to America in the late summer of 1893. They were part of a great Jewish exodus, bringing over 1.5 million Russian and European Jews to America between the 1880s and the first decade of the 20th century. During these years, anti-Jewish pogroms swept across southern and western provinces of the Russian Empire and Eastern Europe. Pogrom is a Russian word meaning riot or act of violence or mayhem. The violence included murders, beatings, rapes, and destruction of property. The earliest memory of Leah's youngest son, Israel, was of lying on a blanket by the side of a road, watching his family's house burn down. The pogroms were joined by systematic government discrimination against Jews. When Leah Beilin and her family arrived in New York Harbor on September 14, 1893, the Statue of Liberty had only been standing there for a few years, and Emma Lazarus's poem had not yet been cast in bronze and mounted inside the pedestal. But Leah and her family were certainly among those to whom the poem addressed its familiar welcome. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Israel Beilin was 5 years old when he and his family arrived in New York, and like the rest of the family, he spoke only Yiddish. With the help of Ellis Island clerks, printing accidents, and his own American ambition, his name would become Irving Berlin, and he would become a master of the American language and one of America's greatest songwriters. So great that at one point in the early 20th century, another great American songwriter, Jerome Kern, would say of him, Irving Berlin has no place in American music. He is American music. Berlin would publish over 1,000 songs, among them Alexander's Ragtime Band, White Christmas, Easter Parade, There's No Business Like Show Business, Always, Oh, How I Hate to Get Up in the Morning, Cheek to Cheek, Putting on the Ritz, You Can't Get a Man with a Gun, Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. But in his own opinion, the most important song he ever wrote was one inspired by his mother. He wrote it while serving stateside in the U.S. Army in the Great War, but it wouldn't be sung before the public until 20 years later, when the next Great War was coming. He called it God Bless America. Berlin said he first heard the phrase God Bless America from his mother, and that she frequently spoke the words with an emotion that was almost exaltation. So grateful was she for the refuge she and her family found in America. In early November 1938, the manager of the famous singer and radio star Kate Smith asked Berlin for a patriotic song for her to sing on her weekly radio program. Berlin set his hand to writing a song, then remembered the one he had written 20 years before that might serve the purpose. He retrieved God Bless America from his trunk, revised it for the occasion, and gave Smith the revised version, which she sang on November 10, 1938, the day before the 20th anniversary of what was still called Armistice Day. Smith could not have known this yet, but in the late night of November 9th and early hours of November 10th, Nazis and German citizens began an anti-Jewish pogrom, burning down Jewish synagogues, vandalizing and destroying Jewish businesses, attacking and killing individual Jews, and arresting and sending to concentration camps about 30,000 Jewish men. November 9, 1938, became known as Kristallnacht, or the Night of the Broken Glass, because of the broken shards of glass scattered in the streets of German and Austrian cities from the looting and destruction of Jewish homes, businesses, and places of worship. Newsreels and newspapers in America would report these atrocities in the days ahead, alongside continuing stories of German political and military aggression, as war with Germany came to seem increasingly inevitable. But on the evening of November 10th, the eve of Armistice Day, Kate Smith spoke the following words on her CBS broadcast. "And now it's going to be my great, very great privilege to sing for you a song that's never been sung before by anybody. It's something more than a song. I feel it's one of the most beautiful compositions that was ever written, a song that will never die. The author, Mr. Irving Berlin. The title, God Bless America." Then as the music played, she sang Berlin's new introduction, reflecting on the ominous events overseas. "While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful that we're far from there, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer." Then she sang the prayer that would be sung by countless millions in the coming generations. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thanks for being part of the American Story. This is Chris Flannery with the Claremont Institute. I encourage you to visit our website, theamericanstorypodcast.org, to learn more about these stories and how you might support them. That's theamericanstorypodcast.org.